Today's show brought to you live from Lounge Media Group Studios. It's Pedro and the Freight Hound with the Logistics Lounge. The views and opinions expressed on this show by its guests are not necessarily those of Lounge Media Group or the show host. So if you sue someone, make sure it's the party responsible for hurting your feelings. Also, grow up, be an adult, and understand not everyone thinks like you. And that's okay.
We're back. We're back. Show numero duso for El Wico.
This is my third show of the week.
It is your third show of the week.
I'm about to hit the what do you even call that?
The fifecta.
The fifecta.
The
Yes.
fifecta.
Yes.
Oh man, dude.
I'm the Pentagon of podcasting, dude. Come on now.
The Pentagon of podcasting. Oh my god. Oh Lord, man. What's up, bro? How have you been since I last talked to you?
Been great, dude. Been a busy week, very busy week. Very exciting news on the forefront. Got my desk in today, but no monitors yet. They're on a truck from California, of all places. So,
Should have had TJ pick those things up and bring them on
I
over.
know, dude. I know, man. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like Amazon might be a little bit cheaper. Oh, what up, Lefty? I am rocking your koozie today. Let's shout out Left Lane with Lefty right there. But yeah, man, rocking and rolling. Got some new business in the works, which is perfect timing for the busy season. And yeah, just taking care of this stinky dog that's super cute that farts on me all the time. But yeah, living the dream, man. How about yourself?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. Things could always be better, but they're great. They're great, right? I really have I have no complaints, man. Just moving through life, dude. You know, still messing around with the house. Matter of fact, I think there's like 5 boxes out there in my living room that needs to be assembled at the end of the afternoon. So, but loving it, man. Chopped out a bunch of calls today. Had some pretty interesting conversations with some people. Particularly, I even had the same one with you today. But I talked to someone today about corrugated boxes. And if you don't know what we're talking about, go watch Nathan Johnson's thing that he did with Alex Mai on GLCS on their channel, and go listen to the show and listen to what he said about that. So yeah, dude, had that conversation with someone pretty interested. They were surprised as well. But good day, man. Loving things. Ready to get this show rolling. Oh, let's pull this weirdo up. I forgot he was down there.
The classic Anthony. You gotta be hopping
yeah.
on, hopping off, hopping on.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, and he's on mute.
And you're fucking muted.
I hit the wrong button and popped out of the studio for a minute. I know.
It's hard to find.
Holding it down. Right?
How are you, man? How have you been since we last talked to you, bud?
I'm doing great, man. All days are good. Some days are better.
That's awesome. That's good to hear.
Glad to be here. Yep.
Yeah, I know you're happy, bro. Like Erin is your homie, dude. So I
she is one of my oldest LinkedIn friends. And, you know, I always say I knew her before she was famous, and she's like, I'm not famous. I'm like, yeah, you are. But yeah, Erin's one of the most solid people I know. She's a very good friend, you know, online and offline. And, you know, I've been going to her programs for a while now. And, you know, I'm really excited about this particular show.
All right. We are too, man. Now stop talking before you give away everything about her. Okay. So we're gonna no, man, we're glad that you could join us, because you introduced us to her, and you helped make pretty much make this show possible, man. So glad you could hang out with us. Yeah, man. Awesome. What are we doing? News. That's what we're doing. We're gonna do news. We've got some lounge media specific news. So lounge media news, I mean, sponsored by AirDoc Pro. One source from truckingnewshub.com, but maybe we should get Steve to make a post about it. Maybe we should do that. All right. If you haven't saw the post that we put out and that Road Dog put out, tomorrow morning, we are proud to announce we will be starting a show with our friend Spencer Squire, founder, owner of Road Dog Coffee, and he will be starting the Road Dog Coffee podcast. We're going to do it every Thursday morning, 8 o'clock. We're going to do a mix of the freestyle type format that we do here on the show, where everyone's welcome. And eventually we'll also start having some guests on. We're going to start out doing 30-minute shows, just kind of shooting the shit, hanging out, drinking coffee, talking about whatever had gone on during the week, or maybe something that has been happening, you know, that morning. And yeah, you know, everyone will be welcome. Just going to chill with the homies and have a good time. So really excited about that. You know, Hunter and I have been really trying to grow the brand, grow our media group. And, you know, with the show he's doing, Drayage Junkies, and we had John with Stop the Scam for a while until he went to the Freight Fraud Task Force. And we've been talking to Road Dog for Damn, Hunter, since last year at semi-casual, when you went to semi-casual last year and talking to Spencer, I think is when we first started talking about, if I'm not mistaken. It's been at least a year. I know that. So it's good to finally have him making it happen.
Yeah, gonna be some good stuff.
It is. And if you don't know Spencer, then you were in for a hell of a show because
It's gonna be a wild one, dude.
the
Great way
only
to wake
reason,
up.
yes, only reason I am on that show is to try to keep him under control. and
Good luck.
he doesn't get our entire network canceled because that guy is he is a ball and a half, man. But really happy to do this. Really glad that Spencer chose us to do this with, because I mean, you know, he's intermingled with a lot of people, could have gone a lot of directions, so we are very, very honored.
He's got some of the best coffee in town too.
I
like
deal,
Black
man.
Dog.
Yeah,
and he's a solid
man.
dude.
Yes, yeah, Spencer's absolutely amazing. My son likes expedited. That's the expedite. That's his favorites. That medium roast. I like you, Anthony. I'm with the Black Dog, dude. And you know, you do it both ways. You gotta get the pod so I can do it hot, and then you know, you get the grounds so you can make iced coffee out of it.
Are they called rims, not pods? Because there's
rims. That's true. They are called rims. That's true. And there are 10 rims, right? No, 18 rims 18. In a box. 18.
Just like the wheels on a truck, baby.
Yep. I was thinking 10, you know, for lug nut count, but you know what's wrong. It's 18. It's,
hey, that's a good idea right there, man.
Yeah. So. Yeah, but I'm really glad to do that, man. Cannot wait. Love Spencer. He has been a good friend of ours, dude. Matter of fact, his show that he did like popped up in like YouTube. If you log into our YouTube, it'll push like certain shows up that it's like it's been a year or 6 months, and his show popped up, and it's been 2 years ago since we've had him on the show. He was on in 2023. Right after he first started the brand, dude. He's one of our first guests. Yeah, crazy, man. Crazy. I know. Time freaking flies.
Wow.
That's all I got, though. Tomorrow morning, 8 Central, 9 Eastern. We're going to chill for 30 minutes. If you want to come and hang out, let us know. We'll shoot you a link. You can come and chill with us and drink some coffee while you type away to your carriers and your customers and all that stuff.
Beautiful.
We're gonna let Anthony. I say we let.
Give the grand intro there, TJ.
That is a big box. Delphine 18, and it's not bad. I think it's only $15. I think, and it's good coffee. It's with free shipping.
It is actually a really good deal compared to some of the K cups you get today. You get more and for a better bargain. But now you got me thinking about the 10 lugs, dude. The 10 lug tin of coffee. Just an idea. Ooh. But let's get to the guests here.
let's get to the guests. So we're gonna let Anthony introduce our guest. So you do the introduction and I'll roll the intro video. Anthony.
All right. I want to introduce Erin Whitehead. She is the founder of Ambitious AF, which you can extrapolate what that means. She has Prime to Perform series, and she has a program called Battleground. She is all of her programs are based in neuroscience, and you know, she works with the top 1% of the top 1%. I'll let her, you know, tell you a little bit more about that, because you know, certain things are on the down low, but I gotta tell you, there are very few people that are as legit as this woman that you're about to have on here. And I've been wanting to connect her with the trucking industry for a long time, because I'm certain that her message will resonate with a lot of us. You know, we got a lot of hustlers in this industry. We're all grinding it out. You know, we're hard workers, and everything this isn't self-help. This is neuroscience. And everything that she teaches coincides with what we're actually doing. And I've been going to her Prime to Perform series for about 2 years, and I'm proud to say that I'm joining her Battleground program, which is a paid program. And, you know, she doesn't just let anybody in there. You have to be vetted to actually even be accepted into that program. And I'm excited to, you know, have this nexus point where we can have Ambitious as Fuck meets the logistics community.
All right, that is hands down the longest introduction ever on the
Let's
lounge.
go.
Erin Whitehead, let's freaking go. Welcome, ma'am. Welcome. How are you doing?
I'm 5'6" above ground today, so I've got nothing but gratitude flowing through my veins. How are you guys?
We're absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for joining us, for coming on the show. We
Thanks
know
for having
you're
me. Yeah.
very busy, got a lot going on, so means a lot to us that you took some time out of your schedule to come and share your message, your mission, and your background, which is pretty
Yeah.
amazing. I read your entire website pretty much this morning.
Oh,
So
great. That's good. Somebody's crawling the website. That's awesome. That's
yeah, I did.
fantastic.
I like you. Hey, you said in your thing, hey, if you read my website, it'll pretty much tell you everything that you need to know. And so I did, and
Sure.
it's a hell of a
Thank you.
story. So really happy to hear it, and for our audience to hear it as well.
Yeah, thanks. I'm happy to be here with you guys.
So before we get into it, how you doing? How's your week going? You got anything like popping happening this week that's extra exciting or anything?
Well, I can promise you, as an entrepreneur, which is someone who signs the front of the check, it's never a dull moment. So my
I
stress
love how
level is
you
always
said that.
it's always out the roof, and I'm always doing everything I can to try and protect my sanity. So I'm popping off all over the place. Yeah,
I love
good
your
stuff.
wording as the person that signs the front of the check. I love that. Never.
Well, just to be clear, there's a lot of people who go around claiming to be entrepreneurs, and if you've got a side hustle on Pinterest, I don't exactly put you in the same realm. It's like, no, I eat what I kill. So if I don't sign contracts, my kids don't eat, right? When you go to the wall and you flip the switch, the lights have to come on. So you have to have a business model that runs. And yeah, so it's never a dull moment at Ambitious AF, to say the least.
Freaking man.
Fun
Man,
time.
we are 2 minutes and 26 seconds into her, and I'm into the show. Let's go. She's already got me
Let's
fired
go.
up, and we're just talking about paying fucking bills here.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
All right. So, Erin, we're just going to go ahead and we're going to get the show rolling. We're going to start you off like we start everyone, and that is, who is Erin Marie, and how did you get to build Ambitious AF?
I could give you like the 45-minute version, but I don't want to lose the audience. So let's just start with the fact that I've been fired from every job I've ever held. It's not a badge of honor that I wear, quite frankly, but I never really fit in the box and in the mold, right? I feel like my vision, my dreams for myself were always exuberant and bigger. And I was surrounded by people who were consistently trying to fit me into the confines of mediocrity, quite frankly. And I grew up in a generation where you were taught to graduate high school, go to college, as a female, find a husband, get married, pop out a few children, sunset into retirement, and hopefully along those lines, you grow some great babies that turn out into society and help community. And that's really what the lane was for you, not necessarily as a housewife, but that was just sort of the way that the dominoes would fall for you. And pieces of that I wanted, but I wanted something bigger for myself. I wanted something more. And I knew, I remember as a kid having these really, really big dreams, thinking to myself, I am going to run this huge corporation and I'm going to be closing deals across multiple continents, and I'm probably going to be speaking multiple languages. And while a couple of those things have come true, what has actually come true is the fact that I've really been able to step into my light and build something from scratch that never existed that exists today. And I feel like, middle America has a very, very, very big problem. It's not our wealthiest and it's not our most impoverished. It's middle Americans who I believe so desperately want to figure out how to take agency back over their life. And in doing so, by running their own business, starting a business model from scratch, launching it into the market, signing your first paying client, your second, your third, your fourth, etc., and being able to have more control. I think it's one of the number one complaints that I get from people. It's, I wish I had more control over my life. And what they're really referring to is, I don't know how to be a business owner. I don't know how to sign the front of a check, because that's not what we're taught in school. We're taught things that are out of a book. We regurgitate the information. We're tested on it. If you do well, you progress to the next level. Hopefully you learn enough out of those books to be able to produce a skill set for an employer. And then hopefully you can save enough money to enter into retirement and, sunset into the distance and maybe make a difference in the world. I wanted to take the reins of my life and take the bull by the horns and really shake some shit up. And it wasn't until later in life where I finally got fired from the last job I ever held and was like, what the hell is going on here? Like, there's a pattern with me. And the one common denominator, it wasn't all of my bosses, it wasn't my colleagues and coworkers, it was me. So I was like, oh my gosh, is something wrong with me? Come to find out, there's nothing wrong with me. I just needed to be able to figure out how to shine my light in the world in a way in which others would find valuable and be able to pay in exchange for that service. That's really kind of what it is, right? So you sell a service, you sell a software, you sell a tangible product in the market. Mine is human performance coaching. And so as I was trying to figure all of this out, I came across the coaching industry. And I was like, oh my gosh, how come I've never heard of the coaching industry? That's so crazy. I wanted to figure out a way to marry my love for psychology, so to speak, and my love of helping people. And that's how I found the coaching industry. And I was going through coaching school, and I put my fingers up right now. So if you're like listening only, I just did air quotes with my fingers. Coaching school, right? I put it in air quotes on purpose because the coaching industry is not licensed. So anybody can call themselves a coach and charge money. So if you're listening to this and you're thinking about getting a coach, make sure you vet properly. So I went and attended this coaching program that I vetted, and it's a very, very, very good program. And it took nearly a year to go through. And I was hanging on every word of the person who taught this program and ran this company. It's like a 7-figure company, right? I mean, this person does very, very well for himself and his family. And he's a Harvard MBA. And I'm like, well, geez, like this guy knows something. And he says to us when we were in Sarasota, Florida, at the in-person retreat, he said, whatever you do, don't sell yourself as a coach. Like, nobody knows what the hell that is. Like, just don't do that. He said, and it doesn't matter if you're a career coach, transformational coach, business coach, whatever. He said, it doesn't matter. They're going to put you in the bucket of being a life coach because that's all Instagram talks about. So it doesn't matter what you are, you're a life coach. And I can promise you, nobody knows what the hell that is. So if you're an accountant, if you're an attorney, if you're whatever it is that your profession is, you've got to go sell that service or that product or that software and then lace the coaching in. So I was like, geez, this guy must know what he's talking about. So I'm like, what do? I was a competitive strategist. So I was like, I'll go sell strategic plans. And I did it in the plastic surgery dermatology space because that's a space that I used to work in. And I had business contacts in there already. And nobody in that industry has strategic plans. So it was an easy sell. When I went to go lace in the coaching, nobody wanted it. And I couldn't figure it out. I was like, why doesn't anybody want to be coached? Like, this is the personal development realm. Like, doesn't everybody want to personally develop? Turns out they don't. They just say they do. But I said, I don't want to do the strategic planning. It's not where my heart is. So how do I sell the intangible? How do I sell the idea of transformation to people who've never met me, who've never really crossed my path, who have maybe purchased some type of mastermind or coaching program or something online downloadable, had a terrible outcome or a terrible experience? How do I get that person to trust me enough to be like, no, I can actually really help you? And so I had to figure it out. And you know what I did? And so I dropped the competitive strategy and I figured out how to bring human performance to the everyday individual. How can I marry the zero deviation mindset of getting up every single day and becoming a better version of yourself than you were the day before? How can you chase personal excellence and chase your most ambitious desires and put it into a program where the outcomes are you get to shake hands with yourself for the first time in a long time? And if you stick with me for a year, you're not even going to recognize the old you, and you're never even going to want to be friends with the old you. Like, you're never going to want to go back to that place. And so I figured it out. And so I was filming a video in my loft. And at the very end of it, I said, let this be the permission that you need to go be ambitious as fuck. And I closed the video out and I was like, now that's interesting. Huh. And I was like, well, it has the F word. Should I post it? I don't know. And I was like, screw it. And so I posted it on one of the social media platforms. And lo and behold, people were like, oh my gosh, I love that. Oh my gosh, I love that. So it was in November of 2021, I think, maybe 2022. I can't remember. At least maybe 4 years ago. On the LinkedIn platform, I started a newsletter and I called it Ambitious AF. And I had, I think, 5,000 followers just on the newsletter in like less than a week or something like that. People were like, you had me at Ambitious AF. They just loved it. They fell in love with it. And that is really how Ambitious AF was born. It was born organically. It was born because there was just a fire inside me and just these words just came out. And so everything that we do at Ambitious AF is organic. We pay $0 in marketing and advertising. I am from a red-blooded, blue-collar family. My grandfather was a roofer, right? Like, this is back when we went door to door knocking on people's doors. You got to know your neighbors. You actually talked to people and you looked each other in the eye and you said, this is who I am. And you gave people a handshake and you meant what you said. And if you didn't, we found out and you were cut out of the circle. So I feel like if the Ambitious AF message resonates with you, if it makes you think differently, if you go take positive action because of something that I said or something you read or a video that I posted, go tell a friend, because that's good old-fashioned American values in my book. So Ambitious AF is it's a lifestyle, quite frankly. It's based in fitness and nutrition. So chasing personal excellence starts with both of those things. And I'm a huge fan of, if you get your fitness in check and you get your nutrition in check, 90% of your problems are probably going to go away, quite frankly, right? If you got a whole shit ton of problems in your life, one of those things probably aren't in check, amongst other things too. But if you just start there, it's a really, really, really good start. I'm not a fitness expert. I'm not a nutritionist, to be clear. And people will say, oh my gosh, I love the way you look. I want to know what your routine is. What are the workouts you do on Monday? What do you do for arms? What do you do for legs? And I say, well, I can give you my entire workout, but it may not work for you. And they're like, well, what's the program I need to be on? It doesn't matter. Fitness or nutrition, it doesn't matter. My answer always remains the same. The one you're gonna stick to. That's the one. So go vet out the programs, figure them out, figure out what works for you, and stick to it. Stick to it. That's the biggest problem that people have that brush elbows with the Ambitious AF community and with the message, is that they continue to engage in start-stop patterns. So everybody who's listening and everybody who's watching this interview right now, start something brand new and they're really excited about it and they want to build better habits in their life and they want to make really good positive changes, and their intent is very, very, very good. And they do it for X amount of days until something happens. It's usually because they're tired. That's usually what it is. But it can be other monkey wrenches. It could be family, kids, your spouse asks you to do something and you don't make time to work out or whatever the case is. Doesn't matter to me, quite frankly. But you stop. And that's your habit. Your habit is the start-stop pattern. So in the sense of neurobiology, I would tell you, and I would tell all of your listeners, if you're trying to build habits, don't do that. It's one of the most destructive things that you can do. And I take shots and arrows in the back for saying this all the time because people just don't understand. There are so many books that are published that say, oh, you need to build a habit, and here's how you build a habit, and here's how many days it takes. And if you do it for this many days, you've got a habit and you should celebrate, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm telling you, under no circumstances should you ever try to build habits. because they will backfire. So what should you do? Well, neurobiology tells us, and the clinical literature tells us, and cannot be refuted, that you should aim for goal-oriented action, period. Goal-oriented action. So where are you orienting for the day? What are your goals? Do you even know, right? So you've got to flesh those out. You have to orient in that direction, and then you have to take action. And if you wake up and do that every single day, with a zero deviation mindset, whether your wife is in labor, whether there's a hurricane coming, whether your circumstances are really shitty, whether you've just been served with divorce paperwork, whether you have to file for bankruptcy, whether you just lost your job, doesn't matter. If you get up and you orient toward goal-oriented action in a positive way, you cannot fail. You cannot, period. You can maintain a better, healthy mindset, generally speaking, when the monkey wrench hits, right? You can pull through, you can return back to baseline a lot faster when you take 10 steps backwards, right? And that's what we do at Ambitious AF. So what am I saying? I'm saying you need to do it until you build a lifestyle. Because if it's not a lifestyle, you have start-stop patterns. And that's why you go to bed feeling like shit all the time, crying your eyes into your pillow at night, praying to fall asleep before you fall apart, because you can't figure it out. And I'm telling you, it's not rocket science. You're entering into start-stop patterns. That's the problem. And on top of that, you might even be allowing people in your household or people in your inner circle to talk you out of your dreams. That happens more often than not. It's extremely disheartening. When somebody comes to me and they're like, I have these really amazing dreams, then I want to do really big things, but my spouse isn't supportive, my mom isn't supportive, my best friend isn't supportive, and they actively try to talk this person out of their ambition. It's what's holding this entire country back, right, is lack of backbone. It's an epidemic, quite frankly, right? And lack of critical thought, but that's, story for another time. So anyway, very long-winded answer to your question. Who are you? I am just somebody who is, again, woke up 5'6" above ground. I've got nothing but gratitude flowing through my veins. I post on social media. It's an open diary. So those are actually letters I write to myself. I don't write them to you. I write them to myself. And if you didn't internet stalk me, then you wouldn't know that. But if the letters resonate with you and you find yourself inside that journey and it reminds you of your own motivation within, right? Good, fantastic. Now go take action, right? It's harder, right? People are up at night tossing and turning in their bed because there's a decision in their life that needs to be made. And that's not why they should be tossing and turning. People don't realize the decision isn't the hard part. That's what they think. There's 4 steps to the decision, right? The decision is step 1. And you already know what the decision is. That's why you're tossing and turning. But you're not tossing and turning because of the decision, right? First, you have to make the decision. Then you have to ask yourself, okay, what's the action steps that I need to take against that decision? Like, what do I need to do? What are those action steps? Then you have to apply the law of constraint onto the brain, right? When do I need to do this by? Now things are starting to get hairy, right? And then you have to go take action. It's the 4th step in that decision process that people actually have the problem. So if you're tossing and turning at night, if you feel like the weight of the world is on your shoulders because there's a very, very big decision in your life that you need to make, take a breath, go figure out the action that you need to take, apply the law of constraint when you need to get this done by, right? Those are very, 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 very big decisions. And it's not until you take that first step and you basically burn the ships where shit starts to get real.
Damn.
That's the best intro I've ever heard on this show.
I'm like, fuck, okay. I have
Told you she taught me everything I know.
Hold on. So let me say, I have a whole list of questions here. She's answered like half of them in short form. And yeah, you see me, I'm deleting it. She's talking like, shit, there goes that one. But also at the same time, I'm like still rapping. I heard everything in my brain is just like, keep computing. Like, oh, whoa, man. Like, wow, that was a hell of an intro, Erin.
Told you it's not self-help stuff. I mean, Erin, in her programs, we hold each other accountable.
So, I just want to say, I'm not against self-help stuff, man. Whatever floats your boat, dude. Whatever
Yeah.
whatever helps you do you. You know what I mean? Or whatever you help you need. I'm all for that, man. You want to go to a fucking Tony Robbins convention? Have fun. You want to go to Grant Cardone? Do you, boo, as my wife says. You know, I mean, I'm just a doer. Like when I just want to do something, I just do it, you know. So I mean, not just whatever. But I will say, you know, most self-help people that they're full of shit. And she kind of just said it. She's like, there's no licensing or accreditation in this. Anyone can call themselves a life coach or a coach, period. And, you know, half these people have never had any real struggle. You know, a lot of them have, you know, but most of them don't. You know, they're just like, man, I suck at everything else. How can I, you know, I go to the saying, those who can't do, teach. You know what I mean? And that's one of the things a lot of people do. Erin, I've read her story and everything, so I know she's the real deal. But God, Jesus, Lord, man, that was. I'm just talking, trying to still get my head around this so I can get to the next question because I'm like, holy crap, man. Oh, Lord. Oh, man. Yes. Go, Hunter. Somebody go. She has my brain like firing so fast that I
All right,
can't get it to fucking stop.
So I guess we'll get into our first question. And then we have the science of zero deviation. So you advocate for a zero deviation mindset. You know, treating every day like day one. And from a
Right.
neuroscience perspective, why is breaking the streak or rewarding a period of hard work with a break so destructive on a high level performance?
Because high level performers would never make such a decision. Because we see a ramp up of everyone moving into a really great mindset and wanting to make some of the biggest changes in their life on or around New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, right? So a brand new calendar year, it's a new streak for people. They have the best of intentions, and most people want to do something like lose weight, for example. Like a lot of people can relate to something like this. They either want to lose weight, they want to tone up, they want to look good naked, they want to feel sexier, right? They want to get back to their beach body, something like that, right? Because they feel like shit about themselves. And so what happens is they make a promise to themselves. This is what's happening. So they say, okay, I promise, without using these words, to lose the weight for good. And they're on a really great streak. Why? Because they're not at work yet. Because, you know, they've taken off of work, and nobody has to be at work till, say, the following Monday or something like that. So what do they have? They have time on their hands. And what they don't do, and what they haven't done for 300 days out of the 365-day year, is figure out how to integrate the lifestyle that they want. And so they wake up, they make a promise to themselves, and 10.5 days later, one of two things happens. They either get a monkey wrench thrown in, they're too tired to work out that day, or they decide, oh, after 10.5 days, I've been doing so good, I'm going to take a breather. I'm going to take a breather. I'm going to put my feet up. I'm going to go out with my girls downtown, you know, and we're going to act like assholes, and it's going to be fine, because come Monday, I'm going to start it back up again. And you know what happens? They don't start it back up again. They literally move right into their start-stop pattern. That's why the zero deviation mindset is so crucial and critical to the lifestyle. So if you see someone who's living a lifestyle, it doesn't matter if it's a lifestyle at the gym. It could be a lifestyle with your marriage. It could be a lifestyle as a parent. It could be a lifestyle as a friend or a colleague, right? It could be a lifestyle that you take on with fitness. It doesn't matter what it is for you, but it's one of those things that you just don't deviate from, because why would you? It makes no sense. Yet you go make promises to yourself and you deviate all the time, and then you wonder why you feel like shit at night. That's exactly why. It's because you don't know how to keep the promises to yourself. And if you don't know how to keep the promises to yourself, you're never going to be able to break the chain and break the cycle, ever. So you're always going to look at everybody else in awe and be like, God, I wish I could be like them. What is worse than putting your head on your pillow at night wishing that you could be someone or be something other than you? That's shitty. And I'm telling you, this isn't rocket science. It's not rocket science. I talk about this all the time for free. You don't have to be in any one of my paid programs. I literally give this information out for free. You got to figure out what you want to do in your life. You got to figure out how to get there, right? And you have to wake up and you have to take those steps every single day. And again, it doesn't matter if there's a hurricane coming. That doesn't matter. Why should that matter? That doesn't matter. You can still do body squats in the family room. You don't have to have a gym membership to get in shape. No, really, you don't. You don't have to only eat healthy when you're at home. You can eat healthy while you're traveling too, right? There's all kinds of things that you can do. You just justify reasons why you can't. And then you point your fingers at people like me and you say, oh, well, I believe in a rest day. Oh, well, you should be able to take a day off. And I'm like, you better get the fuck away from me right now because your energy is not welcome. It's people like you, right, who put your feet up and take a breather that ruin it for everybody else. People like you try to keep others in the confines of mediocrity. People like you try to talk others out of their ambition. People like you are the ones who die with regret. Get away.
I've never had a guest make me feel so good and then turn around and make me feel so shitty. I'm like, damn, she's talking about me, man. No, I'm joking.
It wasn't intentional. It wasn't intentional. But if
I'm
I said
joking.
something that resonated with you, then
No,
write that down.
It's so funny. No, I'm literally going through that right now. I've been on my own like health journey and stuff, and just like, I mean,
Yeah.
excuses, but schedule's just so fucking busy. And even when I do have the hour to go to the gym, I'm just like, no, like I have something else I can do. It's all productive stuff. Most of the other stuff is building our media group or doing like actual work. But like I'm doing that right now. My fitness. It's been like 3 months since I've been to the gym, and I've been walking, but I'm like feel like a failure. So I'm like, damn it, I haven't gone, and I keep making excuses and replacing it with other activities not to go. But anyway, what you just said is a great segue into my next question. And right now in the world, everyone is talking about the hustle, the grind, grind and shine, doing it out, getting your hustle on, building your site, building your business yourself, doing all these things. And you have that zero deviation mindset that you were talking about, and how big of a part of your mindset and your things that you teach other people are. But how do you balance that and still have a good quality of life while chasing your dreams and building a better you and trying to provide for yourself and do all these good things, but still take that time to be with your family and stuff? Is that a part of your program and the things you teach people, is how to have that incredible balance to still be successful and have that quality time with the people you love?
I teach people that there is no balance. There is only hyper imbalance, right? So this whole work-life balance concept does not exist. It is another way for the blame stream media and the mediocre population to get people to buy into the fact that it's okay to give up on yourself. Should you make time for your family? Of course. Should you make time for like date night and private time with your spouse and the people that you love? Of course you should. And the reason why people can't or don't fake physical activity, right? It's not necessarily working out at the gym, but it's physical activity, right? So let's speak to the clinical literature. It's exercise, it's building skeletal muscle, right? So that you can live longer. It's getting your sleep hygiene in check, etc. Is because they haven't ever baked it into their schedule. So to their credit, when you've never done something for like a decade, much less 30 days in a row, you don't really know what the other side of the mountain looks like. And all it looks like is arduous, right? But I'm telling you, it's not as bad as you think it is. If you learn that you have, from the moment that you wake up in the morning, whatever time that could be noon, or it could be 4 a.m., or whatever time you wake up, until midnight. All you have to do is figure out how to basically play Tetris with your schedule so that you can fit everything in. So what does this mean? It means you have to examine your life and you have to start looking at it from the perspective of what's critical versus what's not critical. And I think a lot of people will find out that in doing so, and when they go through the program, we move through what's called critical tasks. If it's not critical, then it's non-critical. And you only do critical things. That's it. And if you have time for other things, fine. And if you don't, then you don't. But that's the lifestyle that we build. So that's the zero deviation mindset, is also believing that in order to become a better person than you were the day before, in order to chase personal excellence and make it an obligation, in order to build your journey of overcoming, and in order to be able to go back into the gates of hell, not get caught, shine a light for others and say, come here, follow me, I can show you the way out, and not get stuck behind those gates, means you have to move through what I call like the training grounds, right? So when I work with the Navy SEALs, this is what I call it. So I speak in their language. You have to be inside the training grounds long enough for what? To have a breakthrough. And what is the breakthrough that I'm talking about? The breakthrough is the perspective that you don't have yet. And I don't know how long it's going to take you. My answer is it takes as long as it takes. Once you move past and you get into that breakthrough, that means you can turn around and you can look back in reflection. And you can say, oh my gosh, I just realized I don't have to do trivia night every Thursday with the girls. It's not actually critical. I was just doing it because everybody wants me to be there. And I feel bad about telling people no and this and that and all of these other things. And you have been living a certain kind of lifestyle up until this point. And most of it has to come with you telling yes to everybody else instead of yourself. So you don't even know how to make promises to yourself and keep them. That's a problem. And so you continue to break the promises that you make to yourself, yet you keep them for everybody else. So the zero deviation mindset is that once you make the promise to yourself, you keep it. And you don't
Aaron,
break it.
I feel love your answer, by the way. Freaking absolutely love that. And I want to add that, I kind of go back to what you were saying about your story about the generation you grew up in. I don't know your age, but I'm 41. And I grew up in you go to school, you go to college, you work for the freaking man, you get your 401k, you blah, 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 blah. And I think the whole work-life balance deal stems from that mindset, because everyone thinks you do that, you get the job, you go to work at 8, you're off at 5, you're home for dinner every night, you're taking the kids to whatever sport practice and so forth and so on. And like times have changed. Things are a lot different. A lot more people want to be entrepreneurs. They want to be in charge of their future. Some people just have several jobs because they like to have several jobs. They can't be stuck doing the same thing every day. They work several part-time things. And so, I think that that's something we haven't let go of from that, prior generational bringing up mindset. We're letting go of other things, but everyone still wants that work-life balance. And let's be frank, if you want to have all the things and all the dreams and be all the stuff that you want to do and provide all the things, sacrifices have to be made. And I think I kind of live by this philosophy when it comes to the work-life balance is momentarily prioritization. And what I mean by that is I've got two things that I have to do. What is more important and what is going to be more productive and give me my life and everything more value at this time than this other thing. And that's the thing I have to choose. And the other thing has to be moved to the side. And those things shift, sometimes it's this thing and sometimes it's that thing. But I think a lot of people have that problem. Everyone wants to relax and have fun. But most people don't want to put in the 20 hours of work that it gets to only have the 3 hours of fun. You know what I mean?
Well, and most of the time those hours are spent sleeping. So to caution the audience, it's one thing to feel that you have agency over your life. It's another thing to enter into entrepreneurship. Those are two very, very, very stark things. And I can promise you, when you are an entrepreneur, you literally feel like you have no agency over your life. You are working every single day. People think entrepreneurs are just kicking their feet up all the time and they've got all this control over their schedule. And while there is some truth to that, most of the time you're working nights, weekends, holidays, and vacations because you want to, because this is what you love doing, because this is where you plant a stake in the ground, and you say, this is the hill I'm going to die on. I mean, this is what it is. For me, it is getting in front of as many people as I possibly can, but specifically that one person who's standing on the ledge ready to, end it all, and remind them, don't be afraid to live. That's why I feel like I exist on this planet at this space in this time. It's because people don't understand how to live. And they lay awake at night thinking, I wish I had a different life. Whatever that looks like, whether it's their living conditions, whether it's the marriage that they feel trapped in, or they wish it could be better, whether they feel like their friend group is just a bunch of assholes, whether they hate their job and they wish they had chosen, a different career out of college or something like that. I get messages from, 52-year-old accountants who are like, I don't want to do this anymore. But they're, how the hell am I supposed to, what I call do a cannonball off the high dive? How am I supposed to do a cannonball off the high dive? I'm 52 years old. I've built my entire adult life in this one job, doing this one skill set. And they're very, very good at it. And they just don't know what to do next, but they know they don't want to do what it is that they're doing. Right. And so we have to, we have to start teaching people there's something other than college. You can sign the front of the check. It's not easy. College is good. I'm not saying it's bad. It's very good for technical skills, right? And things like this. People who want to be medical doctors and, people who want to be electricians, you have to go to school and be schooled properly for things like this. Building a business from scratch, there's really no school for it. You kind of just have to do it. And you can get mentors and things like that. But, taking back agency over your life can look a number of ways. And it doesn't mean that you have to sign the front of the check. It means you have to feel more in control. And that starts with you waking up, making promises to yourself, and keeping those promises for the rest of your life, period. If you do that, you learn how to say yes to yourself. And in essence, you learn how to say no to others and the things that really don't even matter in life anymore. And I think during COVID, it was a prime example where the world literally came to a halt, a screeching halt. And we all kind of learned that we were very busy being busy. And all of a sudden we have all this time on our hands. And I don't know if you guys remember, but certainly in America, there was no exercise equipment left. Like you couldn't order exercise equipment because everybody ordered exercise equipment. And like there was literally no more in stock. Because why? Because one of the first things people wanted to do was start taking their health seriously. And they just felt like they didn't have enough time in the day for physical activity. And I'm telling you that you do, right? So at Ambitious AF, when we put critical tasks together, one of the inherent functions of a critical task is that it's not allowed to be codependent. You can't rely on something or someone else. It has to be independent. You are the only person that it can be reliant upon, right? So for example, like people will say, walking my dog every day, I want to make that a critical task. Well, you can't because it's codependent. It depends on your dog being available or depends on your dog traveling with you or whatever, right? You literally have to do this every day for the rest of your life. So that's an example of a codependent relationship. Not that it's not critical, right? And not that it's not important, but when we put critical tasks together, we're talking about keeping promises that you make to yourself. So if you choose physical activity, because you have to, if you're in the Ambitious AF community, fitness and nutrition, right? Then you have to quantify it. Again, applying the law of constraints. So is it 15 minutes a day? Is it 30 minutes a day? Is it 60 minutes a day? What does that look like for you? You've got to quantify it. Let's say it's 30. Okay, well, clinical literature determines that those people who wake up, who have a more stringent schedule, who say, I'm going to work out every day at 5:30 in the morning. And if they oversleep or they miss the workout or they're too tired, don't actually work out that day. But those people who say, okay, well, I have the whole day to figure it out. So I always tell my crew, I always tell them, if you get 20 minutes out of the 30 minutes in, you got 10 minutes to make up. And guess what? You got till midnight to do it. It can look however it needs to look. That's what people don't understand. So you morph it and you make it look how you need it to look, so long as you're actually You're not flipping it into a downward dog and calling it a workout. You're not getting away with that. Okay? We're not sitting in the lotus position and we're like, okay, I worked out for 20. No, you didn't. No, you're not building any skeletal muscle that way, right? So stop with the excuses. So you have to complete the critical task in its entirety, and it cannot be codependent. It's one of the harder things for people to do. So when people enter into the Ambitious AF community, one, they're excited, and two, they're a little nervous because they think that they're going to fail because they've never done anything like this before.
That's
for like
rock
a decade.
solid. I mean, what you're talking about, you got from midnight till midnight, like you said, you knock out 20 minutes of work and it's like, oh, it's 8:30. And I feel like what you're talking about with these constraints, it's societal, it's like, okay, well,
it is really societal.
Who's going to work out at 8 o'clock? People are afraid to be the one-off, the weird, like your friends, you got your asshole friends. They're like, oh, what are you doing, guy? Are you some Mr. Fitness freak? But I can see that where that plays into a lot of this. And what you're saying is like stuff that I've looked into for many years now, coming out of some struggles. So Sorry to be rambling on this.
It's not easy. No,
I'm
it's
with
not.
Pedro. It's just one of those
It's not
boom.
easy. Yeah, it's not easy, but you know what? It's not impossible. And everybody has the best of intentions, right? But you don't get awarded and rewarded for intentions. You don't get rewarded for thinking about it all the time. I call that mentally masturbating, right? If you're constantly thinking about it all the time and you never take action on any of it, right? You're just someone who literally is going to die with regret. Like that's you. And it's like you need to look in the mirror and you need to admit it. And what can you do differently? Take action. Take the first step. Go get your workout in, right? You're gonna feel so much better. Nobody ever laced up their sneakers, went and got a workout in, and was like, "That was horrible." Nobody says that. They're like, "I feel better." Yeah, no shit, Tony. Yeah, it's really good that you're working out. You're getting the endorphins flowing, and things are good. You're probably gonna sleep better at night. What's the number one reason why people fail? Number one reason why people fail on themselves is an unsupportive spouse. Period. Unsupportive number one partner in life. Number one reason. Not because they break promises to themselves. It's because the person closest to them either talks them out of it, tries to interfere. One of the number one direct messages that I get or questions that people ask me in like whether I'm giving a keynote or whether I'm on here, they send questions in is, how do I get my spouse on board? I've got a whole podcast dedicated to this, right? And the question is, you can't. All you can do is wake up, do your critical tasks, move forward with a zero deviation mindset. And when your spouse tries to push back, you have to make the decision. Like this is where I take jabs in the back, right? This is where I totally get slaughtered, where I'm like, why are you with somebody who doesn't support you wanting to get better in life? Why are you with that person? Now, as a caveat, I don't advocate for divorce, to be clear. But I will ask you, like, why are you with somebody who doesn't support your goals? That makes no sense to me whatsoever. It makes no sense. Maybe they did 5 years ago. Maybe they don't now. Maybe they don't want to get on board because they want to be a fat slob too. And they need an excuse to, right? Which is you being a fat slob too. And you not doing better and you not chasing personal excellence, right? So they're going to fill the pantry with all of the foods that are really bad for you. In our nutrition program, I tell you one word foods. One word. I don't tell you paleo. I don't tell you go be vegetarian. I don't tell you carnivore diet. I say one word foods. That's not Doritos. It's not donuts. It's not wings. It's not cocaine. It's not strippers. It's actual one word foods. It is blueberries.
There's my diet gone right there.
Potatoes. It is the good food that you put into your body, right? What you feed your body, you feed your brain. So if you have a spouse who's filling up the pantry with all of the bad things, it's really hard to live in an environment like that and not take 2 steps backwards. It's really, 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 really hard. It's really hard. So if you're listening right now and you're in that situation, the best thing that you can do for yourself is just wake up with a zero deviation mindset, understanding that there are going to be pressures that are pointing at you from all kinds of directions, and you have to be stronger than that pressure. You have to force your discipline until it becomes trained discipline, and you have to be willing to push back and say, no, I am going to work out today. No, I am hydrating with water. No, I am not going to sit around and gorge during, in America, we have Thanksgiving. So Thanksgiving week, you can still eat healthy. Like you don't have to gorge on all of the food. You can still eat healthy. You can still eat one word foods during Thanksgiving week and Christmas and the holidays and all of these things. No, really you can. I promise you can. People are like, but I can't. But actually you can. You can do it. Just because you've failed in the past doesn't mean you're a failure. Just because you're losing in life right now doesn't mean you're a loser. You're not a loser. You are absolutely magnificent. And you have that badass motherfucker that lives within you that wants to come out. I promise you, all you got to do is dig down deep. You got to wake up. You got to move forward with goal-oriented action. And when you do that enough, you'll finally have the breakthrough to be like, oh my God, you're right. It wasn't easy, but it's also not impossible.
So,
well, and I'll throw. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Anthony. I'll remember my question. Just I hope you don't throw too big of a curveball. So
No,
she
I won't.
doesn't get.
I'll make it super quick. Well, actually, I got a couple things I want to touch on. Number one, what Erin was speaking about entrepreneurship. In our industry, we're entrepreneurs, so we all have freedom to build our books of business the way you want. You know, there is no such thing as a 9 to 5. We're taking calls from truck drivers. I mean, you've seen in her programs, I'm usually working, so she sees me. I got my earpiece on one ear and my Bluetooth on the other one, you know, participating in that. But you know, as far as what you were saying about the one word foods, that one really struck home. And you know, I think about that when I go to pick up a snack. I drink water, and you know, and I lost probably 65 pounds since I've been at my current job, just from hitting the gym. Portion control is huge too. And you know, I don't even really watch what I eat so much. I just watch how much of it I eat. And once you get away from all those sugars and artificial flavorings and all that, it becomes really easy. Like, I don't like pop anymore. I used to drink a 6 pack of Coke every day. And one last thing that I'll say is, I tell my children all the time, whether you tell yourself you can or you tell yourself you can't, you're right. And, you know, it's really that simple. It's mind over matter. And, you know, Erin mentioned the SEALs. She does a lot of work in the SEAL community, and those guys will tell you it's all mental. The physical stuff's rough, but what it really comes down to is the mentality. And, you know, those habits, those steps to building habits, if you just do this stuff on a daily basis, it all becomes a habit, and then it becomes a lifestyle, and then it's easier. And then you want to kick it up a notch and make it harder.
I agree,
And that's
bro.
a lot of what she teaches in her programs. I mean, there's guys in there that are doing 1,000 push-ups in an hour, climbing Mount Everest. These are older guys too, and you know, if those guys can do it, I can do it too. And
I,
when you surround yourself with a community like that, it really does rub off. You hold each other accountable. You know, we are not easy on each other all the time. And Erin, especially, she'll call you out. And in her programs, one of my favorite things is I sit there as she's speaking. You can see the guys in the girls in those programs. When she says something, they get this uncomfortable look on their face. And I always get a big smile because I know, you know, I watch the reactions. And it's not about calling people out or making them feel bad. It's, you know, a little bit of tough love and support. But I gotta say,
uh,
after knowing her for a long time, it really does work. The things that she
it's
teaches.
it's about calling. It's so about calling people out on their bullshit. I literally was talking to someone about this today. Before I get to my question, I'll say this: like, I like what Erin talks about not having habits. She's right. Like habits can be formed; they can easily be broken. Military, she deals with a lot of military people. Military people don't use the word habits; they use the words like structure, lifestyle, orientation, because that's what everything is. It's built around structure. Everything has a time, a place, a purpose, a reason. Da 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 da. Was literally talking to someone about this today, calling people out on their bullshit. Another thing that is very common with military people, law enforcement. I don't call it calling you out your bullshit. I just call it being fucking direct. Man, like I feel the people, and I am one of the. Everyone is this self accountability. That's the thing. We have the hardest thing to do is to hold yourself accountable. It's easy to hold everyone else accountable. You know what I mean? Like say opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got them, and you know what I mean. They
Is that my wife or is that Pedro?
I
Um,
think it's Pedro.
Oh
But
yeah, you said his wife
yeah.
was cutting out.
yeah.
Okay.
So just to piggyback kind of on what he's saying, he's right. Especially with respect to structure. And I think, you know, one of the number one reasons why somebody wants to brush elbows with Ambitious AF, why they want to bring the Ambitious AF message closer into their life is because they do feel like their life is a little bit out of control. So there's one realm or multiple realms of their life that are spinning out of control, and they don't understand how to place the structure around it properly in order to feel like they're winning over and over again. and everybody is fighting their own demons, whatever it is for you, right? And isn't one cookie cutter way to solve your problem. There really isn't, right? Which is why, critical tasks are sort of open, right? They have parameters, and I give you the first two, fitness and nutrition, and you're required to choose a total of 3, no more than 5, right? And I give you 2. But the others are your choices, so long as they meet the criteria, right? And the if you ask me, the brilliance of that is like, if Anthony comes to me and I'm like, hey, did you do your critical task yesterday? And he's like, no. I'm like, but you're the one who fucking chose them. I didn't choose those for you. You chose them for yourself. Okay. I tell you fitness, but I don't tell you what program to do. I tell you nutrition. I tell you one word foods. Now, to be clear on that, right? My nutrition personal program includes Snickers, to be totally transparent, right? I don't try and hide that. Why? Because I have a sweet tooth. And why? Because I know that I could never go a decade without chocolate. Okay. But I also do not overindulge or gorge, right? Because I'm in a place where I just need to scratch the itch with some of the sugar. And so I do that and I get back on track, right? It's never come to a point where I'm so far off track where I'm like gaining 10 or 15 pounds because I'm down the candy aisle, right? I am somebody who that is something specific, right? So if you are somebody who can't travel down the ding dong aisle in the potato chips aisle without putting something into your basket that's going to set you backwards, then that's an aisle that you can't travel down. That's not your training grounds. You've got to go around the back of the grocery store, grab the milk, grab the bread, grab the eggs, and then you have to go to the checkout aisle. And you can't grab right there what's in what I like to call prime real estate. It's everything you shouldn't be buying, which is right there next to your checkout area. You have to have this myopic view with nothing in the periphery. You have to get in, you have to get out, right? It's really, 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 really hard for people to do that. When people are on a nutrition program and they're really, really trying hard to lose the weight for good, or they're trying to look better or feel better, one of the hardest places to go is the grocery store. It's extremely hard, right? And so you have to literally go in with like your list. You've got to go in totally full, haven't already eaten, and you have to go in right. There are things that you have to do, and right. What Pedro was saying was, personal accountability. It's what you do behind closed doors that nobody sees or claps for, right? That's what's going to get you to where you're going. Exactly, right? Like there's not going to be an audience for you. The ambitious AF lifestyle, by the way, is one of the most loneliest lifestyles you'll ever live. To be honest with you, it's not for everybody. It is in a way isolating in and of itself because there aren't a whole lot of people that are in your neighborhood, on the sidelines of your kid's soccer game, or around in arm's length that are living this kind of lifestyle every single day. So it can feel very, very isolating, which is why the ambitious AF community is so tight knit, right? Because the power of the group is the group. And so they want to know other people who are also behind closed doors doing everything that nobody sees or claps for. They're working out every single day and they're not posting it, on the internet for 10.5 days after January 1. And then guess what? We don't see you with a hot pink face after running the treadmill, Becky, right? Where'd you go? Oh, you took a fucking day off to go act like an asshole downtown and, act like a whore and slam some fucking whiskey. And you said that you were going to get back on the horse on Monday and you didn't, right? So now you're going to go gain the 15 pounds that you did before. And then you're going to be back into my New Year's Day event on January 1, like, new year, new me. Like, this year is mine. It's going to be me. It's not going to be you, Becky. Like, you're not sexy and you're never going to be sexy. So fucking stop, right? Go recite your positive affirmations in the mirror and, try and tell yourself that you're doing good. You're not. All right. You're the epitome of like the feminist movement that just sets women back like decades. And I want nothing to do with you, honestly. But to those of you out there who are listening and you really want to make the good positive changes, right? You can do it. You just have to stick it through on the days where you feel like quitting. You gotta get up when all you want to do is lay in bed for the rest of the day. You have to actually put your sneakers on. You got to lace them up and you got to go for that run. You got to do something. You got to fit it in. You have until midnight. And it's on those days where you feel like quitting on yourself that you actually get up and do what you're supposed to do. Not on the days where the wind is at your back and the sun is in your face and, you feel like your toes are in the sand or you're on a mountain, whatever it is for you, right? It's not those days. It's those days where you want to quit that you don't quit. Those are the days that make you. Those are the days. And those are the days that you have to have enough of. So you stack enough of those up. I promise you that you will feel like you are winning over and over again. And then all of that crap that's going on in the background, everybody that's pointing and laughing at you for doing a cannonball off the high dive at 52 years old as an accountant, you're doing something totally different with your life. None of that is going to matter anymore. And you're going to do it so well that those people are going to come up to you and be like, how did you do it? Can you teach me? Can you teach me how you did it? It's like, oh, you're not making fun of me anymore? You're not stabbing me in the back in rooms I'm not in anymore? Really? You want to know how I did it? I'll tell you how I did it. This is how I did it.
So while I have internet, I just want to make this comment. If y'all notice, how you haven't seen like the Energizer Bunny commercials on in quite a while, and you might all be wondering whatever happened to the Energizer Bunny. Fucking Aaron hunted his ass down and stole that battery pack that dude has been using.
Pretty much. Pretty much. Yeah, one of my favorite things to do, one of my favorite things to do is to go in a crowd of people who don't know me. Like if I'm in a room with 50 people who don't know me, I always tell people, like, this is not your opportunity to be humble. This is your opportunity to tell people what's working in your life. Say it loud, say it proud. And if you get pushback, then push back even harder. So if date night works for you in your marriage, talk about it out loud. If working out every single day with milk jugs works for you, talk about it out loud, right? Talk about your wins out loud. There's nothing wrong with this. What people are so desperate for, right, is leadership. The world is begging for leadership. Your boss is begging for a leader. Your neighbors are begging for a leader. Like, stop looking around. It's you. You're the one who can lead. And people are like, oh my gosh, but I'm only one person and we've got this whole world and like Rome is burning and all this stuff. It starts with the individual. That's what you don't understand. It starts with one person and it starts with you. So what do people are looking for? They're looking for permission. They're looking for two things. The first thing is permission to do what they really want to do in life, which is what? Chase their most ambitious desires at the age of whatever and do a cannonball off the high dive. What's the second thing that they're looking for? Always, not sometimes, always. They're looking for validation that they will, in fact, if they do a cannonball off the high dive, not fall flat on their face and look like a big fat failure in front of everybody, which I highly recommend. There's character building in that. So they want two of those things prior to taking their first step. That's why people don't take their first step. But if they see Anthony out there and Anthony's doing something that makes his life purposefully harder for him and he does well in it, right? And they're looking at him from the sidelines of his kid's soccer game, or he's the gas station attendant at the local gas station, or whatever it is, right? They're not going to raise their hand and say, these are the ailments that are going on in my life. Here's all the skeletons that I don't want anybody to know about. They're just going to look at Anthony and they're going to be like, well, shit, if he can do it, maybe I can do it too. So when you make your life purposefully harder, you give others the silent permission to do so in their life. So you never know who you're impacting. But you're impacting more people than you think, I promise you. So let this be the permission that you need to get up off your ass, handle your shit, and go be ambitious as fuck, okay? Every time I thought that I couldn't keep going, I was wrong, right? And so are you.
That about sums it up, man. She's not kidding either, bro.
I've never... I don't know, Aaron. You are just.
Did you need me to crank it up, because I've been toning it down? If you need to,
yeah, she really is toning it down because we're on a live podcast.
I'm teasing.
No reason to be toning it down here, buddy. God, I mean, I love it, Aaron. I do. I said I'm not a big motivational guy. I'm a realist and a self-accountability person. I fall short. I'm not perfect of anything. I fucking make excuses all the damn time. I was just talking about how I haven't been going to the gym because I've got other things I could be doing in my time. But, it's a thing that I feel is a lot with the whole betterment movement is people fill themselves full of bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, it takes a certain mentality to change your lifestyle. It's not just reading books and listening to someone tell you how to do it. You have to take action. and you have to find purpose. You have to make a structure and put all of it into play. So, and I love that you're about accountability and people doing it themselves and giving them the tools and not making excuses and calling people out on their bullshit when they don't, you know? So I think, and just, I don't know what else to say. Like,
Calling
all I
yourself
can
out
say
on your own bullshit, you know?
is Erin is I bet Erin is that friend that other friends warn people about. Like, all right, I'm inviting this lady. All right, just let you know. Just I don't know what to
Don't
say.
put her on
Just,
speakerphone.
Yeah. Don't put her on speaker.
Unless you want to shake things up, then put her on speakerphone and let her do her thing.
Well, what I love the most is that, one of the battles that I have, one of the internal battles that I have is my fear of embarrassment. And I talk about this out loud, right? I grew up so scared about what everybody else thought. I was so scared. And I was, poked fun of. I literally the redheaded freckled faced stepchild, literally in all of those ways. And so, I hated the way I looked. I wanted to like peel the skin off my body. It's like, how can I get rid of these freckles? Right. So to go from that type of mindset to the mindset where, when I walk in the room, I really don't care what anybody thinks, but I'm also not looking to be the asshole. But I'm going to talk about how I make my life purposefully harder. Because I'm willing to stand alone, hold the line in my core values, right? Especially if that means standing alone, and I'm not going to waver. And so I always tell people, like, they'll say, oh, do you want to, I don't know, they'll suggest something like, oh, do you want to, let's say, do you want to come out to trivia night? It's like, no, I really can't. I can't make it that night. Well, are you sure? We really could use you on trivia night. It's going to be fun. You've been working out so much and like you've worked so hard, like you need to take a breather. And I'll be like, don't give in to peer pressure. And also, I'm never going to respond to your phone calls again. Like I have such a regimented life, and people think that I don't have any fun. My definition of fun is getting to be able to be here with you guys and, to
It wasn't
enjoy
me for once.
my children and, to read my favorite books and to be an active participant in somebody else's transformation, and just to be at a place in my life where I never thought this was possible. I never thought this was possible. Like I used to have dreams that were so big and I never knew how to get there. I was like desperate, like, oh my God, if there was just a roadmap, would somebody please teach me how to get there? I have these big, big dreams, but it can't possibly work out for somebody like me, right? Like I was born in a duplex and I grew up dirt poor with no money, hand-me-downs all the time, right? Like shopping at Goodwill. That was like on a good month out of the year. I never thought this was possible. So like success is how you define it. So it doesn't necessarily mean ultra wealthy, for example, because that's what a lot of people define success is how much money do you have in the bank. But can you put your head on your pillow at night and just feel good? Just feel good that you got something accomplished for the day, right? That to me is being successful and positively impacting others. And, to those of you who are listening right now or catching this recording, just remember, when your world feels like it's spinning out of control, for whatever that means for you, right? And you feel like the weight of the world is crushing on your shoulders, you actually have more control than you think over a number of things, right? And this is really where critical tasks come in. But you have control over your posture. You have control over how you treat people. You have control over whether or not you get the workout in. You have control over whether or not you hydrate with water or electrolytes for your brain. You have control over whether or not you groom yourself when you leave the house. There's so many things that you can gravitate to, that you have control over, that you can put your head on your pillow at night and you're like, I checked all these boxes off. And although all of this shit in the background is burning down and I'm not able to control any of it, I was at least able to control this. To me, that's a win. That's a win. And when you wake up the next day, you do the exact same things all over again. You control what you can control. The storm will pass. Will it work out for you? I don't know. And I'm not going to tell you that it will, but I'll tell you the storm will pass eventually. And if you continue to do your critical tasks, you continue to shed the toxicity out of your life, you continue to show up for yourself, and you make your life purposefully harder, things will work out. So for right now, just play the hand you're dealt like it's the one you always wanted. And there you go.
Damn it. Fucking mic drop. Holy crap. I feel like Erin has dropped so much knowledge and bombs that like she's gonna fucking send us an invoice after this and be like for services rendered.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
man. Oh,
It's
this
all
was
gold too. And the beauty of it is critical tasks are something that you can actually do. You know, like mine, get 7 hours of sleep every night, get 10 minutes of early morning sunshine in my eyes. You know, not that you stare at the sun, but just being out there in it. 20 minutes of prayer. So what she's saying is actually easy. I don't sit there and pray for 20 minutes. I pray in intervals over the course of a day. But if you set those tasks and you stick to them, they really do add up. And then you can switch them out, and change them. But the
No,
core
no, no,
ones,
no, 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 no,
uh
no. We
oh,
can't change the critical. No, wait. So Anthony's not wrong. There is a caveat. So, for example, a lot of this happens like people will choose visualization as one of their critical tasks. And I'll say, if you've never actually practiced this, go practice this for 30 days. It's really hard to participate in visualization, which is different from meditation, which is different from prayer. Those are three distinct things that are different, and a lot of people intermingle them, and you shouldn't. But visualization, for example, and most of the time people will be like, yeah, it didn't work out for me. Okay, let's go pick something else, right? Pick something that you're going to stick with and that you're going to do for the rest of your life, right? Because that's how you have to think about it, right? So if we're going to make promises to ourselves, we don't want to break them and like switch them up. But Anthony is right. If you're engaged in a critical task that isn't working, it has to not be working for all of the right reasons. Not because like the human brain searches for what's called novelty, which is why you have a lot of people start things, they don't finish it, and they start something new and they get excited, and they don't finish that and they start something new. So we see this in the coaching programs too. So people sign up for coaching programs and they won't complete the coaching program. So it's not necessarily the coaching program that was terrible. Like it was your start-stop pattern, because the brain is constantly searching for something novel. So when we pick critical tasks, we stick with them.
well, and to piggyback off of that, because I guess I kind of said that wrong, but certain core ones like 7 hours of sleep, getting proper nutrition, basically those are things that you should be doing anyway. So those are core critical tasks, but basically what she's saying is if you're doing something that isn't working, you can swap that out too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
but
one of my things I
it's
was going to
very,
ask is
very,
like,
very rare. Very rare.
so when you have a critical task, at what point does it become just a part of your lifestyle to where you can not necessarily replace but add on, to where it's not you're overloading, but that's just been instilled into your core, and then you say, okay, I've done this. This is something that I do every single day now. So you're not rewarding yourself for doing something that's already instilled in you. Let's go do more, if that makes sense.
That is a really great question. So the people who have been part of my Battleground program for over a year, as they entered into their second year, one of them took their hands off mute and they said, your question, what should we do about our critical tasks? We already do them. Should we add more? Should we? No. Unequivocally, no. Why? Because you don't reinvent the wheel. The reason why you got to be, and this was somebody who climbed Mount Everest, by the way, right? This is somebody who's doing very, very big things. And for whatever reason, people think that when you reach the milestone, then things should alter. Now, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't add a level of complexity. So there's something, right? So physical activity never changes, but the level of complexity could, where maybe swimming wasn't part of your regimen and now it is. So you're swimming once a week, right? Or you're cycling once a week, and that was never part of the regimen before, right? But it's physical activity for X amount of minutes. What you do with that physical activity is up to you. So it could be going to the gym and doing Nautilus equipment. It could be cycling. It could be running. It could be swimming. It doesn't matter. You choose it, just like one word foods. You choose the one word foods, right? They just can't be the bad ones. But you choose the one word foods just like you choose physical activity. So when you choose your critical tasks, you literally think about it for doing them for the rest of your life, right? We don't not get up and perform physical activity and exercise. Of course we do that. So to answer your question, once you build it into a lifestyle, it's kind of like, I don't want you to think, oh my gosh, I've made it. Because that's the moment where you'll probably slip. But you don't reinvent the wheel. It's the beauty of the critical tasks. And when you do those things, then you add a level of complexity. Maybe.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know if you're ready for that level of complexity, right? So like people who can't walk down the ding dong aisle right now, who can in the future, right? That's a level of complexity. And it's very serious for people, right? Because one day they may walk down the ding dong aisle and be like, shit. Right?
Heart's
and now
full.
they're in the gates of hell. Now they're in the gates
down the
of hell.
ding dong aisle as long as I can grab some fucking ding dongs. Okay, no, I'm joking.
Well, maybe it's part of your one word foods, right?
That's
you know,
my
so if
critical
you're eating a
task,
ding dong,
Aaron.
like
It's my critical
twice
task.
a year.
I have to
what it
walk
is,
down the
yeah.
ding dong aisle and grab ding dongs. No, I'm joking.
But that's a really great. You know, he asked a really, really, really great question.
No, it was. That was.
Yeah, that's what I was getting on.
They
Not
reinvent
fire.
the wheel.
Let's cut it out. But
Yeah,
the
when
complexity
something
of, you know,
works
adding
for
on to
you.
it.
Yeah, I have an entire podcast dedicated to this. It's called Discipline Over Everything. It was the very first podcast I ever recorded. And I teach you two things and two things only. It's very simple. One, get your discipline ecosystem in check. And when you do it, don't fuck with the system. Do not do that. Like, don't think, oh, I've got it made. Oh, I can put my feet up and take a breather. Oh, it's not a problem. I can walk down the ding dong aisle. Like, maybe no, you can't for the rest of your life. You're never going down the Cheetos aisle, ever. It's never for you again. I don't know, right? But once you come up with a system that works, why are you messing with it? Or why are you even taking a breather from it? That's a start-stop pattern. That's no good. Can you add a level of complexity? I hope so, right? But maybe you can't, and that's okay. So it's not about how much complexity can you add and, you know, how hard can you go in the paint every single day with your physical activity? Like, did you get the physical activity done or not? Yes or no? Did you meet the 30 minutes? Did you do it before midnight? Did you reach the zone 2 or zone 3? I don't know. What was the other level of constraint for you? Because you can't flip into a downward dog and call it physical activity, right?
I just love the fact that Aaron fucking said hard in the paint. That is some Southern talk. Oh my God.
What is it? Nobody watches basketball?
Hard in the paint. I love that.
I just think a walk of flock every time I hear that.
I know. And Austin.
That's the first time I ever heard that. I'm borrowing that one,
bro.
What are you talking about? Yeah, when you're right there. You're right there under the net.
Reference.
When you're in the paint.
Yeah, it is hard. A hard basketball reference. But down here in the South, it means the same thing. It's just a hustle term. You know what I mean? Like, man, I'm going hard in the paint, bro. Like, I'm in it. Like, I am in the zone. Nothing is fucking stopping me right now.
Right. You are myopic.
Yeah. I love that. Oh my golly. Holy moly bajoli. I
told you guys she'd be a great guest.
I totally forgot it. Oh man. God, this is good stuff, Aaron. Like, man, I like it. I love it a lot. And good. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I like it. I like it a lot.
You know, I want to mention one thing.
I feel like I'm talking to, and I'm not making a comparison here at all. But the only other I have two close people in my life that are like you, that like they give me what you're giving right now every day, and that's my boy Nick Klingensmith and my fucking homie Michael Lombard. Like same thing. They are just always talking about like go. Like, dude, don't stop. Always on the gas, never on the brakes. You know what I mean? Like, and I know what I was gonna say. She said the start-stop routine. For all you truckers out there, what Aaron is saying, all right, we're gonna use a truck analogy here. Aaron is saying, make your life like a reefer unit. Don't put it on start, stop. Put it on continuous run, baby. There you go.
There you go. Don't turn that thing off. You're getting a claim.
Oh, man.
Aaron, he's referring to a reefer unit like a refrigerated truck, and you don't want to start, stop those.
Yeah, on a refrigerated truck, you can put it to where the reefer unit, it's like on automatic, you know, like it gets to the temperature, it turns itself off, and then when it rises, whatever. Or you put it on continuous mode, which is where like it's just continually running, doing its thing no matter what. Yeah. So, trying to make that analogy for, I think I saw her face. She's like, what the hell is this guy talking about? Reefer unit? I don't smoke a reefer.
Yeah, I'm sitting here with the reefer guy.
Are you guys huffing on the pot?
Oh man,
Yeah.
this is
Well, I
awesome
was
stuff, man.
actually going to mention Iron Minds, because that is the group with Nick and Michael Lombard that he just mentioned, and those guys, they're serious. They're running marathons and 5Ks, and they just don't
Lombard
stop.
just did the 70.3 Ironman in Serbia. I think that's his third Ironman that he's done, third or fourth he's done. Nick has done several Spartan races. He's done the Florida Ironman. They're all people that, I mean, not like sucky lies, but Nick's a 4-time cancer survivor. He's a type 1 diabetic. Built an incredible career in logistics and ended up getting to the VP level and was like, yeah, that's not what I want to fucking do with my life. I really want to be an author and write a book. And the dude just dropped everything in the middle of his
Yeah.
life at the height of
Yeah.
success and said, this is what I want to
Yeah.
do. You know, Lombard's a former Marine, and then he became a truck driver, blew up to like almost 300 pounds and was like, this is not
Yeah.
who I want to be anymore. And now the dude, he does marathons and motivational type speaking too, and everything,
Very
like
nice.
just incredible people. So like, yes, I don't know. I hear you talk, and I hear so much of the stuff that I get from these guys about just like, man, like it's all in your mind. Like everything that is holding you back is you. It is not anyone else. It's not the fucking things around you. Like there are too many examples in this world of people that have had the odds stacked against them more than anything, and they have found a way to persevere and be a better person and be successful. And I also love how you say success is not about the zeros in your bank account.
Right. It's right
That
here. Success is a decision.
there
That's the
it is.
mantra of ambition. It's a
I
decision. Yeah.
I love my dad, my dad, who I've worked my entire life to emulate because he's an stressful, extremely successful person. And as my dad's gotten older, he's passing all this knowledge on to me and said, you know, like success is can you lay down at the end of the night and be happy with the things that happened in your day and that you accomplished? And do you have the things that make your life good? You know, are you a good person? Do
Right.
you emulate good energy? Is your family taken
Right.
care of? Are you
Yeah.
healthy? You know, all of these things. And at the end of the day, those are things that really matter. And, but it takes work to do that, work on yourself a lot of the time, you know. And I love all
It
the things
does.
you're saying, Aaron. I
Yeah.
love it. It resonates a lot. And you didn't get
Good.
into a lot of
Good.
your backstory, which is fine, but just
Next time.
hearing you now and all this stuff, it incredible, really is. I mean, I know you don't need to hear it, but you should fucking pat yourself on the back and be extremely proud of yourself. I mean, you really should. You know, I mean, you talk about other people doing it, but I hope you give yourself thanks and praise too for the stuff that you've overcome and how hard you've worked to be where you're at. You know, so
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's nice to hear that. It's
well.
nice to hear that.
We
Yeah.
don't congratulate ourselves enough. I'm a person, I do that a lot. I'm a very self-deprecating person. I always feel no matter how good I do, I feel like it's never enough. And so I don't know. One of the things I try to do better in my life is to tell people how good that they're doing, you know, so people hear it from others. So
Yeah. It's thankless being an entrepreneur, right? But you know, in those moments where, you know, the clients who are in my human performance practice, or it could be a total stranger on the internet where I've posted a video or they've been part of the Ambitious AF community, because a lot of people don't comment on my posts or they don't like them, right? So I really don't know who they are, but they'll say, you know, I've been following you for 3 years, and I just want to let you know I put in my 2 weeks notice today, and I'm going getting another job. Or they'll surprise me with these things, and they're making very, very, very big decisions in their life, just like your friend who said, I've climbed the ladder of success in the corporate world and I just need to do something else with my life. Like, this isn't it. And sometimes it's not until you reach a certain point that you don't know it's not for you, or you realize I've reached a certain point and it's just not for me the way that it used to be. And some people are at that point and they don't know what to do, but they just know whatever it is that they are doing isn't bringing the kind of satisfaction or fulfillment that they want to feel. And some people, they're in the dark. They don't know what to do next, but they know whatever it is, it's not this. And for some people, it just really means taking agency back over their life and just feeling more in control instead of, being a slave to the paycheck. Like Anthony was saying before, where a lot of people are intrapreneurs, like with the letter I, which is you're inside another company and you're working extremely hard for that company, and that's for you. And I look for people like that who want to be part of Ambitious AF and work inside my company. I look for entrepreneurs. Like, I want to know who you are. Absolutely, 110%. These are people who are going to blow up the brand in such a good way, and they're going to live and breathe and bleed and sweat for the brand, for all the right reasons. But if you're somebody out there who is spinning in circles and you want to do something different, but you just don't know what it is, right? Start with what I'm telling you, which is to wake up every single day and make that one promise to yourself that you keep. And then the second thing that you can do is go help people. Because a lot of times when you help others, through that sheds light on what it is that you truly want to do. So my guess is with your friend who wanted to write the book, right? He had so much to say and he wanted to give back to others. So that was his way and his version of what I'm trying to tell other people to do, which is go help others. So, for one person, it's go write a book and publish it. For another person, it's, go volunteer at your food pantry. For another person, it looks different. But when you put yourself in service of others in a very, very selfless way, it can often show you, what's sort of behind the curtain. And you go, oh my gosh, that's what I really want to do with my life, right? So those are the two things. Keep the promise that you make to yourself and go help other people.
Oh yeah. And you're right. That's his book is called the first book is called Through the Fire. And that's exactly what it was him just sharing all this stuff that he's been through, his alcoholism and all his medical stuff, and him getting kicked out of a Las Vegas hotel for trying to have sex with a hooker in the closet or something like that. I'm serious, bro. It's all in his book. It is, and it bounced around, but he says, like, dude, these are all the fucking stupid things that I did throughout my life. And then, like, until I realized, wow, those are all really stupid things that I'm doing. Maybe I should make better choices.
Well, and you know how brave and courageous that person was, because 99% of people will do everything and anything they can to try to hide those skeletons. Like, they don't want you to know that stuff about their life. They're embarrassed. They're filled with shame. And it's when we take that shame and we shed light on it, right? So if you go on my social media, one of the number one comments that I get is, oh my God, I can't believe you would post that about yourself. Like, I can't believe you would publicly talk about that journey. And they're right. And right before I hit post, I always take a deep breath because I'm like, what the hell am I doing? And I say, you know what? Somebody's standing on the ledge right now. They're full of shame and they think that they're the only one. They think they're the only one who's going through something like this. They're the only one, and they're not. And I want to show them they're not alone. And don't be afraid to live. It's okay. And we all have a past, and we have all got all kinds of decisions that we made that we wish we wouldn't have. And if you're somebody like me, you made them twice because you didn't learn the first fucking time. So you have to go through it twice. And we all have those things. And we have skeletons in our closet. And so I just want you to know that you're not alone. Like, we all fuck up, especially me, right? But you have to learn from that and then try not to fuck up again, right? Try to make it right and try not to mess up again. And if you can do that, right, then you're probably a good person, right? And it's going to be okay. It's going to be all right.
I like it. And on that, I'm going to start to end it off and say, I feel that personally, you should just not give a fuck about what other people think. That's where I'm at all the time, every day. I just don't care. Like, I do me. I'm going to do my thing, say and do the things that I like that make me happy, that make my life a better thing. And I'm not concerned about what your freaking opinion of other stuff. As long as I'm a good human being, all right, as long as I'm a productive member of society and I pay my taxes, what should you care? And I really don't care what you have going on in your life. And I personally feel that if a lot of people have the mentality of just worry about yourself, like, life would be a lot better. Do what you do. Do what makes you fucking happy. Stop worrying about what everyone else thinks, because who cares, man? Who cares what they think? That's what I say personally. That's just my little hype moment. And my wife says it's not always a good quality.
Well, and I'll throw
easier said than done too. That's
it is.
Sure.
It is.
if only everyone really embodied that, like to the T, I think we would find more people walking around happier and more fulfilled. It's an epidemic that really infects females and the female community at large, that we see is starting to be a little curtailed, and it's starting to get a little bit better. But again, right to your point, it starts with the individual. So if you can look yourself in the mirror and you can feel good about yourself, and you can feel good that you're making good decisions and that you're a good person, that's really how that begins. It's how that begins. Yeah, and maybe one day you'll be able to say, I don't really give a damn what people think. Maybe one day, and maybe that'll make you feel more fulfilled, right? But if it's really hard for you and you really do care about what everybody thinks, again, you have to learn how to keep the promises that you make to yourself. And when you do that, you start shedding toxicity out of your life. And it is toxic to care what other people think to a point in which you basically alter your behavior in order to please others. And that can be a dangerous situation for females
love
too.
that.
So yeah. So in order to course correct, whether you're male or female, right? And I do believe that you should care what people think to a point, but the people who care the most about you,
Thank you.
not
There you go.
everybody,
Great
right?
point. Yes.
So
Care what my
I
kids
agree.
think,
I agree.
you know. And
yeah.
and as an example, and also too, to piggyback off of that, isn't it funny how people judge you just as much if you're trying to improve your life as if you're doing something really heinous? Like we were talking about with unsupportive spouse, or friends that want to get you to go out and do something you don't want to do, like go to happy hour when you don't feel like it and you want to go get your workout in, or do something to actually improve yourself. Oh no, you've been working out all week, you deserve a break, come on out to the bar. It's like, I mean, surprising how much people will actually judge you more for trying to improve yourself a lot of times and try to hinder your growth, because I think what happens is it awakens something inside of them. They look at themselves and they go, oh my God, this guy on a Friday night would rather be with his kids, or would rather go to a church service, or whatever it is that's improving your life. It puts them on blast, and they're like, oh man, I said this to a friend when I was in my early 20s. He wanted me to go out partying, and I told him, I was like, you know what? You feel you're a piece of shit. I told him that flat out. I said, you're a piece of shit. And if I go out and do the same thing with you, you'll feel like less of a piece of shit. And his mind was blown. He didn't know what to say to that, and basically, I've gotten more judgment for doing things that improve my life than I ever did from doing things that don't. Because a lot of times the things that don't, the people actually want, there's Katya. I only care about what the logistics lounge says. Hi, Katya. But yeah, so I mean, I found that it's kind of opposite, because if you're doing horrible things, chances are the people you're surrounding yourself with are doing those same horrible things. They're not going to judge you, for going out and partying with them or whatever it is. But then when you start to break free from that cycle, and I've told Erin about this before, I had a friend out of the blue from in my 20s, and he's a little older than me. And he just started calling me out of the blue one day, like about a year ago, on Sunday mornings. He's like, oh, I had your number in my phone still. I can't believe it's the same number. And I could hear he was drunk on a Sunday morning. And eventually I had to stop taking the calls. And, you just have to cut those people out of your life and not pay attention to them. And, it's not about self-help. It's about self-improvement and actually doing meaningful things to improve your life. Not marginal gains, like big leaps, like what Mike and, Nick and what all of us do. I mean, we're all on that journey.
Well, all I want to say is, Anthony, I wasn't fucking drunk on a Sunday morning. I was still drunk from Saturday night. Okay. Golly,
okay.
Man,
I didn't mean to put you on blast. All right. Fair enough.
Okay. All right. Erin, I'm sure Erin has got some things to do. I've got some production stuff to do for our new show tomorrow morning. Erin, we slotted you for an hour. You've been hanging out with us for almost two, so we cannot say thank you enough for your time. Especially because again, I know how busy you are. I can just hear you talking. She's like, "Man, when I get off here, I got to do this. I got to do this. I got to do this."
I do. I do have. I was checking the time. That's all right. That's all
um,
right. I like hanging out with you guys. I'm so very, very, very appreciative to be here with you guys. I'm so appreciative of the invitation to be able to talk about the ambitious AF message, just to be able to talk about, some actual tactics that can help people that you can literally implement for free in your life. I hope helps that one person who is listening. So if I have provided that at all, then I feel good about all of this time. So it just makes me super happy.
I say you provided that and 1,000 times more. And before I get to my thing, Hunter, do you want to say your thing?
Yeah, Aaron, I didn't know what to expect coming into this, but everything you said, and this is just speaking for me, and I feel like it speaks for a lot of other people, but it's not rocket science. All these things to get your ass off the couch, all these thoughts have gone through my head at one point in time. Like step up to the plate, hit that home run. Do this. Like it's like the crowd mentality. When it's like, hey, we need someone for tribute. Who's going to raise their hand? Is it going to be you, or is it going to be the guy next to you? Right? And at the end of the day, it's if you want something done right, you got to do it yourself. But yeah, I'm with Pedro here. My head's still like swimming in this. It's incredible what you're doing, and I'm definitely going to be checking out a lot of your podcasts. I think it's a lot of people try to overcomplicate bettering your life, and you have made it very simple. So kudos to you, and here's to many more successes for you. You are doing a
Amen, brother.
fantastic job. Yep.
Yeah. Amen.
And I'm gonna get. I know you do your monthly thing. I think it's monthly or every 2 weeks. I don't know. Anthony had sent me the link like twice, and then he fell off of it. But I think that's because usually when you're doing that is my time that I go to the gym because it's everyone else's lunchtime. But I'm gonna sign up for it, and I'm gonna get him. I'll get him sent to me, and I will. I'm gonna start joining because I do the one full one I did. I loved it, and then the next one I was only able to be there for half of it because I had a conference call or whatever. So I did very much enjoy, and you had a hell of a hype crowd in there too. Like
I tell you something. Yeah, the ambitious AF community comes to play.
yeah,
Really.
the
Yeah.
comments were
So
just as fire as the stuff you were saying. Like when you were saying stuff, people were just going off. I was like, "Holy shit, man! She's getting these people fired up, dude."
yeah,
So
we don't hold back. That's how we like it around the ambitious
I
AF
love it.
community, right?
I'm
Yeah,
I'm
we
the
come to play.
I'm the same way, and I like a high energy person, just like all the time. Kind of like that Cat Williams meme that's going around right now. When he puts his foot on the ground and first thing in the morning, he's fucking gone. That's me. I'm just always moving, and so I like the high energy stuff. And the no holds barred, no bullshit. Truth in your face, tough, not wrapped in a pretty little package. I hate that thing. I hate when people try to package stuff to you and give it to you the way they want it. I'm about rawness and realness because that's what life is, right? Life is hard. Life is raw. Life is real. It hits everybody every day, all the time, and not everybody gets hit the same way with it, But it's how you get back up from it, and you face that adversity every single day and keep moving forward. So I love that. Real recognizes real, I guess, Aaron. You know what I mean? Like I love it. I love the stuff you're saying.
Well,
So
thanks for having me on, you guys. I so much appreciate it.
absolute pleasure. Oh my god, my wife just sent me a picture of my front of my house. It's filled with boxes of shit I got to assemble. Oh my god.
You're in trouble, buddy.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Well, get on
5,
it because
6,
yeah,
7.
you've got till midnight until you
Yes.
get your physical activity in. So
That's right.
There you go.
Right. All right. Well, hey, before we let you go, Aaron, any exiting comments, questions, concerns, updates you want to give yourself, your company, anything else, some plugs, tell people where they can find you, contact you, all that stuff?
well, I have a podcast. It's the Erin Marie podcast. So I'd love it if you guys take a listen to that. And like I said, in Ambitious AF, we pay $0 in marketing and advertising. So if you like what you hear, if it makes you take positive action, if it makes you tilt your head to the side, like an inquisitive cocker spaniel, and it makes you think a little bit differently, then share it with a friend. That's really how I think the good messages get around, by and good and through very good people. And to anybody out there who is either struggling or trying to figure out what is the next step for me right now, I wouldn't tell you to stop spinning in circles. I would tell you to stop making the same poor, tired decisions. That's why you're spinning in circles. So it starts with you being able to unlearn who you are today in order to learn who you need to become next. And if you just focus your sights and all of your attention in a myopic viewpoint, right, and just release the periphery, just tunnel vision, that's what that means, in goal oriented action, one foot in front of the other, right? That's really all it takes. That's all it takes. And for some of you, it's arduous at first, but I promise you, if you continue to take those baby steps, little by little, one foot in front of the other, they don't have to be super giant leaps, just one foot in front of the other every single day. Eventually, you're going to get to where it is that you're going. And I always tell people, like, find others that make obsession feel normal and climb mountains together. When you think in decades, which is how we think at Ambitious AF, right? Nobody thinks in decades. So we are people who live for today, but we play in decades because there's nobody on those roads. There's nobody. So if you want to build a business from scratch, if you want to lose the weight for good, if you want to find a new level of wealth, if you want to shed the toxicity from your life, if you want to find the girl of your dreams, whatever it is for you, right? It means that you have to be myopic in your goal-oriented action. And if you do that day after day, month after month, year after year, you're going to eventually get to where it is that you're going. So you can do it. You can do it. Even if you failed before, you can do it. You're absolutely magnificent. Don't ever let anybody tell you different. And if they do, don't believe them. Okay? Just don't believe them. So I believe in you. Now go believe in yourself.
Damn it.
And
That
I'm going to
invoice
throw in
amount
there.
is just going up, honey.
Yeah, it's
I
going
can
up.
fucking see the zeros are just getting added, man.
We got the logistics lounge energy going. And I'm going to add on to this. This 2-hour session is literally scratching the surface. You know, when you actually attend Erin's programs and you put in the work that she's talking about, this is just scratching the surface. In fact, I mean, I've known her, what's it been? Probably like 10 years now, something like that. And I can tell you, like, just having a conversation in private with her is very similar to this conversation we're having now. And she really means what she says. If you're able to attend any of her programs, if you're badass enough to even be inducted into Battleground, I mean, do it. It's, definitely worth the money. But, follow Erin. You can type in Ambitious AF on the internet, on LinkedIn, follow her journey, listen to what she's saying. These things really do work. And especially in the logistics industry, we're already cut from that same cloth. You have to be to even do what we do. And, follow her, join her programs, listen to her podcasts. And, hopefully this is the first time of many that we cross paths on Logistics Lounge.
Yeah, if you do decide to listen to one of my podcast episodes, I would be very grateful. But I'll tell you, do it on leg day at the gym.
Yep.
You'll go. You'll. It's going to be so super great for you. I promise. I'm like yelling in your ear the whole time. Not really, but kind of.
Her intro's like yours, Pedro, except a little more, intense. I'll put it that way.
Like a Zoom call. I probably would be able to just like put that on my phone and still be at the gym and listen to it. In my
it's on Spotify too.
No, I'm talking about her thing she does once a month.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that thing. That's what I'm talking about. So,
what are you thinking about it, Pedro?
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I mean, because I got to figure it out, bro. I'm a structured person. Everything I do, bro.
Just
like,
do it.
You know me, Hunter. I have to have a fucking plan with everything, and I'm a big time person, Erin. Like that's my constant in life. I schedule everything. Time is everything to me because it's one thing you cannot get any more of. So everything has a specific time and place in my life, and I do not like to rearrange things. I know that sounds crazy, but if I fucking move something, it throws off my whole day, and then it takes me forever to fix it. I'm such a weird person like that.
I just
So
leave it on my
that's
earpiece
what I
and
said. I
listen to
gotta
it while
find a
I'm
way.
working.
I gotta
You know,
find a way to implement it into the thing that I have scheduled that time, so I don't miss it. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? It's about adaptation too. You know, you got to change things in your life to make other things work. Aaron, I loved it. You're welcome back any freaking time. Like seriously. I mean, anytime you want to come on, hang out with us. Just your energy is absolutely cool. Tons of people in our industry could definitely benefit from the stuff you're saying. We suffer from a lot of burnout in this industry. It is a very demanding job. The thanks are very few. The rewards are very little besides a paycheck. And, you know, a lot of folks, it's a very hard life style to live, just like in a lot of other professions that you deal with as well. So, just say that to say you're welcome back anytime. With that, we're going to get off here. We're going to end it. I'm going to talk about these ugly sponsors for about 45 seconds. Then we're going to tell you what we got coming up. Aaron, you can hang out. You can leave. Do whatever you want. I know you got a schedule. So whatever your choice is. Thank you so much for hanging out with us again. Anthony, don't forget to figure out how I get signed up so I get the notifications for the Monday thing. I only tell you because, you know, brain injury. I'll forget, bro. As soon as we get off here, I will
there's
forget.
one coming up Tuesday. I will send you the link when we get off here.
Say that she must be someone that Delphine here who's been watching the entire show. So she said that. Come join us next Tuesday live.
Yep.
All right. Sponsors. We've got one of the OGs back with us, Shoreline Capital, because it's always a sure thing with Shoreline, and things are always mighty fine with Shoreline when you do your factoring through those fine folks. Our man Clint Weston, he spent decades in the bacon industry, slaving away for the man, helping take your money. And then one day he woke up and said, I want to give more money back to the people that moved this country. And he opened up his factory company, and he specializes in logistics. Go give him a holler. Make sure you use code SURETHING365. You'll get your first invoice up to $2,000 factored for free with Shoreline Capital. And our other amazing sponsor, been with us for over a year now. We love them. We absolutely adore them. They're doing great things in the parking space. Our homies over at Freight Ninja. We all know how big of an issue truck parking is across country. Man, these truck stops, they're no longer truly serving the truck drivers, right? The places are dirty, they're stinky. They just want you to get in there, take your money. But you can go to Freight Ninja, spend that same money you're going to waste on the roller grill at the Loves, and get yourself a safe, secured, well-lit, close to all the things that you need parking spot at over 50 locations across the country. Hit them up, freightninja.com. Make sure you use code Lounge Ninja. Get yourself some special rates. Anthony, we're going to start with you real quick, and you've got about 30 seconds. Closing comments.
You know I can't keep anything in 30
That's why I'm giving
seconds.
you a
That's
fucking
like,
time limit.
geez,
That's
oh
exactly
man, you're
why I'm
setting.
giving you a time
That's my critical task, is to keep it under 30 seconds. No, I really enjoyed that. You know, this was a very high energy show. Katya threw in there. She said it's logistics lounge energy. I love this. You know, I'm glad that Erin came on, and I'm glad that, you know, she got a chance to share her message with the logistics community, because I think a lot of us could benefit from it. That's all.
Awesome sauce.
Absolutely.
Mr.
Under
Hound,
30 seconds.
what about you?
Whatever Anthony said, man. No, this is a great show. Anthony, thank you for making this shake, making it happen. And yeah, I think a lot of people can learn from this, dude. Like, I didn't understand exactly what she did, you know, like self-help, you know, one of those common things.
Not that.
Dude, yeah, we'll definitely talk about it on the backside. But yeah, incredible stuff. Anybody tuning in now, if you didn't tune in before, go watch it. I mean, come on. Get you hyped up, man. So thanks for joining us too, bro. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Sorry, I got a leaf blower guy in the background now.
It's all good, bro. It's all good. What was I going to say? Oh,
Friday.
don't forget, tomorrow morning, 8 Central, 9 Eastern. We'll do it live on all the lounge channels. Road Dog also has their own podcast channel, Road Dog Coffee Podcast, on YouTube. Not the Road Dog Coffee Company one, Road Dog Coffee Podcast. It's a beautiful It is basically their emblem, but it's blue. So you can easily find it. It'll also stream there. And Friday, Freestyle Friday. That's what we got going on. Freestyle Friday. So you know how it is. But we don't even know what's going to happen. So it's called freestyle.
You never know.
We have no idea. Could just be me and fucking Hunter sitting here staring at each other for an hour. It could be 15 people. We don't know. We'll see what happens. So
You know
come
you're
and join
stuck
us.
with me.
Yeah, well, dude, that's cool. You know you're welcome, bro. For 5-year time. 5-year time. So you
Okay.
coming in? I'll make sure we shoot you a link, and that's going to do it for us. As I always say, chunk them deuces, Mr. Hound. Roll that beautiful bean footage.
The views and opinions expressed on this show by its guests are not necessarily those of Lounge Media Group or the show host. So if you sue someone, make sure it's the party responsible for hurting your feelings. Also, grow up, be an adult, and understand not everyone thinks like you. And that's okay.